Why do I feel like I'm going to ruin it when I like someone? This is a question I get asked quite often, whether it be when I'm working with somebody or just in the wild. And honestly, it's a question I used to ask myself. I remember my sister and I used to talk, and she would say, man, if you treated the people that you don't like the way that the people that you do, she's like, you'd probably be in a relationship by now. And she wasn't wrong, because this isn't just about, oh, there's something wrong with me and I'm fundamentally flawed. Like, I want to get rid of any of that verbiage, because every person here is deserving and worthy of love. And it's not like you are always ruining everything, but there are some aspects and there are some things under the hood that we're going to talk about today. Because you meet someone you actually like, and instead of feeling excited, you start to feel panic. And then suddenly you're convinced you're going to mess it up. You're going to say the wrong thing. You're going to come on too strong and you're going to ruin it. That's not because you're broken. It's because your nervous system is wired to treat closeness as danger. And now you might be saying, wait, what? What are you talking about, girl? But that's the reality. We have to remember our nervous system is wired when we're really young. It's wired before words are even spoken. It's wired when we're in our mother's womb. And oftentimes, if you like somebody, we could feel like, oh my God, am I going to mess this up? Am I going to be too much? Am I not going to be enough? Am I going to say this? Am I going to say this? And it ends up putting you into a performative nature where you feel like you constantly have to perform to get someone's attention. You feel like you have to perform in order to receive love. And you're not actually genuinely in the moment. You're not really being present. And then what ends up happening, what we're scared of happening, ends up happening. And I know that I used to self-sabotage, and the reason I quotation that is because what we've learned about between polyvagal theory with the nervous system and all these different variables is that self-sabotage behaviors that you exhibit are just trying to protect you, self-protection. And so that's why you might overtext somebody, and don't worry, babies, I got something for you in a little bit about that. But that's why you might overtext, you might constantly overgive, or you might play it too cool and remove yourself. Whatever it is, we need to start to understand, okay, well, where did I learn this from? What's coming up for me? What am I actually scared of happening? And then we need to start to ask, well, I don't even fucking know these people. So what am I actually scared of losing this person, or the idea of them, the story, and all of those things? Now let's start with the science. So we have fight or flight activation. So that was a study that was done, and it showed that attachment anxiety activates fear regions in the brain. That's why even positive intimacy feels like a threat. You have to remember, our brain is designed to keep you safe, not designed to help you grow. You can grow, you can evolve, but that's not the point of your brain and your nervous system. They're there to make sure you survive. So even though you might be like, I don't get it, this is good, this is healthy, this is what I've been wanting, or I like this person, that's where we have to say, okay, well, how am I showing up? What's happening within my body? Am I feeling like I'm giving too much, right? Like the people pleasing, or am I going into love bombing, or whatever it is to seek safety? Or am I doing quite the opposite? Whatever it is, we want to start to get curious about what's coming up within your nervous system, because we have, anxiety versus attraction. So norepinephrine spikes during both fear and desire. That's why the spark, you don't actually know if that's a positive or a negative. So that can cause sweaty palms, butterflies, racing heart. Your body literally confuses danger with love. And it's not like there's anything wrong with you and you're fucked up. That's biochemically what's happening on a fundamental level. And the reason I like to incorporate neuroscience and psychology into this is, one, to omit these fucking bumper stickers. Like, play it cool. Just don't show interest. Don't do that. So you're going to play a game. You're going to enter into a relationship trying to be something you're not genuinely. Okay? That's going to work really well. Or you're so calculated, you don't want to mess this up, you don't want to mess this up, you're not actually allowing this person to like you for you. And so we have to know and say, am I working against myself, or am I working with what I have to work with? Okay, guys, quick break, because I want to tell you about something that genuinely made a difference for me, and that's armor colostrum. For months, literally, I was hitting this wall every afternoon. I wasn't just tired, I was depleted, completely depleted. The type of exhaustion where another coffee doesn't even touch it. And I started taking armor colostrum, and within a few weeks, I noticed I was feeling so much more energized. The afternoon crash just kind of stopped happening. And what makes armor colostrum different is it's a whole food superfood with over 400 bioactive nutrients. That's inclusive of growth factors, peptides, antibodies, antioxidants, prebiotics, baby. It's got everything you need. It's physician founded and only uses surplus colostrum from grass-fed cows that would otherwise go to waste. So it's completely cruelty-free, which we love. The other thing I've noticed is how supported my immune system feels. Even now, I still am taking my Armra because it's helping in so many different ways. And I'm not saying it prevents anything. The best part, it's keto, gluten-free, fat-free, and casein-free. 1 scoop in the morning takes 2 seconds. So guys, if you want to try, go to armra.com/Sabrina and use code Sabrina for 15% off your first order. That's Armra, ARMRA.com/Sabrina. Okay, babes, back to the neuroscience. So there's something of a study called the self-sabotage loop. Remember what we just talked about with sabotage? It found that anxious individuals often pull back or misinterpret signals in moments of closeness, which ironically causes the rejection that they fear. And that's why I'm saying self-sabotage. Look, was that intentionally trying to hurt you? Are you intentionally trying to fuck up your relationship now? It's trying to protect you. So an example would be, it's like your body is hitting the panic button before you've even gotten the chance to see if this person is safe. You're constantly in this high alert of like, oh my God, am I going to lose them? Oh my God, are they going to leave me? Or you might say, well, they didn't text me for a day. Oh my God, that means they don't like me. And so then I'm going to text, or let me check in with them. We overperform and overfunction in relationships because we're trying so hard to be chosen. But are you actually choosing yourself? And if the texting stuff sounds too familiar, I want you to know you're not alone and you don't have to stay stuck on this. On October 30th, which is tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this, or you can get the recording, I'm hosting a live masterclass all about why you don't trust your own voice anymore. If every text feels like high stakes, if you're scared of ruining things by just being yourself, this 90-minute training is for you, baby. And we'll break down exactly where this pattern started and how to change it. So you can get the details at masterclass.sabrinazohar.com. So let's get into the problem more, because now you have a solution, but let's get into more. So the constant fear that you're having makes dating just fucking exhausting. And you start believing like, I ruin everything, I'm too much. And then what happens? You activate the salience network in your brain. And then the salience network is like, oh, I need to go look for that. I mess up everything. It's all my fault. You start to take too much accountability. And then what ends up happening? You're a self-fulfilling prophecy. And then you're going around being like, I never meet anybody good and nobody ever wants me. And I just keep ruining things. Here's the reality. Your brain can't differentiate between emotional and physical pain. That's why it feels so intense. And the truth is, like, the messaging is fucking you up. And it's just your body just remembering old wounds, because your body remembers at some point, at some place, at some time that yes, getting close with someone meant rejection. That's why people want to always focus on the avoidance or bad people. It's like, no, maybe they withdraw because somewhere along the lines that was safety to them. That was their way of staying safe, was by removing themselves. It's the same with anxious folk, right? We come closer, tell me everything's going to be okay, reassure me. Or the disorganized, I want you, no I don't. I want you, no I don't. These are how people handle triggers. I'm not saying you have to deal with it. I don't care what your attachment style is. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But let's get into some tools, like some actual practical tools. And like I said, you guys want more? You can join the masterclass, you can listen to the podcast, or you could just be here. I don't really care, whatever works for you, babies. I'm here to help. So we have to look. Anxiety is a memory. It's not a prediction. Anxiety is a fear of the future. And I look at it as, when I get anxious, I'm like, okay, let me start to look at, what is this trying to tell me? What's happening in my body? What are the sensations doing? So now we can do the 3-step check-in. So the first thing I want you to do is label the sensation. Is this butterflies or panic? What's coming up? Like, am I feeling this overwhelming? Is it urgent? That's a big thing. If it's urgent and there's, I feel all this, I have so much energy, I don't know what to do with it, that's anxiety. And that's where we can say that's that panic and that's the whatever, because even the butterflies might also be panic. But is this a calm, guttural, like, wow, this felt really nice? Or am I in just anxiety? And I have an entire episode coming about that soon of, is it your anxiety or your intuition? And it's really important to start to be able to differentiate the two, because I know for a long time when people said trust your gut, I didn't know what that means. Then what you can do is you can regulate with maybe long exhales. You can regulate by going for a walk. You can take ice cubes in your hand, whatever you need. And when you exhale longer, like with longer exhales, it calms the vagus nerve. And so that is a cue to your nervous system. I'm safe. I'm not in danger. And then you can reframe. This is my nervous system remembering, not my relationship failing. This, given everything I've been through, it wouldn't surprise me that this would be tough. I remember I had a client who realized her post-intimacy panic wasn't her partner rejecting her, it was her body replaying the past. Once she learned how to pause and regulate, she stopped sabotaging. She stopped trying to fix everything and just was able to sit in the discomfort, was able to say, that doesn't necessarily mean my partner's pulling away. That might just mean that maybe I'm just projecting how I'm feeling onto them. Or I've had it where, like, when I first started dating people, I was constantly overperforming. And that's why I was kept fucking it up. I kept feeling, I'm like, no, if I meet somebody that's healthy and secure, I'm going to mess it all up, because I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust myself. So the next time you feel a panic rise when you actually like someone, I want you to remember your nervous system is trying to protect you. It's not trying to punish you. And when you learn to work with it instead of against it, connection starts to feel safe again. And you know why? Because you're reframing what is safe for you. I didn't have that modeling growing up. I didn't know what a safe and healthy relationship looked like because I never saw it. I didn't see it into my adult life when my sister married her husband. So my brain was already like halfway through development at that point, if not more. So please go easy on yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're not fundamentally flawed. Your nervous system is just it's having a moment right now. So instead of hating yourself, shaming yourself, blaming yourself, and hoping that this is suddenly going to change, maybe what we can say is, I want to get curious. What is this anxiety telling me? What do I think I'm going to ruin it by? Start to get curious for yourself. Start to list out the behaviors that you exhibit when you say, I'm going to mess this up. I'm going to fuck it up. It's going to be ruined. Okay. I want you to start to get curious, and then I want you to understand that. Instead of trying to get rid of it, maybe you can listen to it. You don't have to let it take over. You can be the adult, but it doesn't mean it doesn't still deserve to have a voice, because somewhere along the way, that part of you learned that that was what was safety. And I want to honor that. So guys, this was a quick little bite-sized 10-minute. Come join the masterclass or just listen to the podcast right here on YouTube if you want more. And if not, thanks for joining, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.